honorable panel members, and guests of honor, delegates, members from the print and electronic media, revered guests, members of faculty and staff, coordinators of the convention, and my student colleagues. This is Vipul, a student of BBA first year at ASBM University. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to all of you to the plenary session of the National Logistics and Supply Chain Management Symposium of Mark Logistics 2021 with the theme The Future of Marketing, Digital Logistics. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Sunil Kumar Das Bendi, Assistant Professor, ASBM University, will be the moderator for the session. I now take the privilege of introducing the panel members of the session. Sri Sova Majumdar. He is the founder and director of Apollonius. He is the director of data science and AI consultant, an expert on trustworthy AI for supply chain analytics. Prior to this, he was independent consultant of predictive safety, analytics, risk management, and Industry 4.0. He also worked as assistant professor of operations and system management at Asian School of Business Management. He has done his MTech from Indian Institute of Technology, and he has pursued artificial intelligence, decision science, and optimization, and BTech from electrical engineering. Shri Akash Jaiswal, he is the managing director of Team Hightech Private Limited. He is also the co-founder of Larkai Healthcare. He worked as a web developer in KitFest. He has done BTech from Kaling Institute of Industrial Technology, Bhubaneswar, in computer science with communication engineering branch. Shri Padmalochan Sahu, he is working as a manager SC operations at Flipkart, Kolkata. Prior to this, he worked as supply chain management at LG India. He is working as logistics executive at ITC Limited. He has done executive program in logistics and supply chain management at Indian Institute of Management, Kashipur. He has done postgraduate diploma in management and logistics and supply chain management at ASBM University. Now, I request honorable panel members and guests of honor to turn on their cameras for a guest photograph. Thank you, eminent guests, for your valuable presence. I now request the convener and moderator of the symposium, Dr. Sunil Kumar Das Bendi, to deliver the opening remarks and then moderate the session. Please, sir.
Thank you, Vipul. I once again welcome all eminent guests in this 11th National Logistics and Supply Chain Management Symposium of Mark Logistics 2021. All of our university students were assembled in our conference room. I welcome them for their participation. And if any questions were there, they can write in chat box or even give in writing to our co-convener so that in question hour sessions we can discuss. So now I would like to open this symposium with the opening note. The new logistic opportunities are pushing a market shift from traditional logistics to digital logistics. The internet is speeding up and lowering costs in the supply chain by allowing trade partners and service providers to share information and coordinate logistics. Digitalization is altering the logistic business. An enterprise-wide network IT vision and data interchange methods are required in today's logistic value chain. The internet's communication and collaboration capabilities are boosting logistic strategies, methods, and systems. The new logistic paradigm will help save millions of dollars in operating cost, improve supply chain integration, and increasing market power by focusing on customers. The internet facilitates information sharing and logistics synchronization among supply chain stakeholders, increasingly supply chain velocity and lowering costs. This new digital logistics is dubbed e-logistic. It uses a central logistic information system and web-based enterprise logistic apps for cooperation and optimization across the organization and extended supply chain. But the basic challenges is this unpredictable supply and demand caused worldwide supply chain disruptions with cascade consequences on supply chain modes. So with this undeferred area or the gray area, we can so call it in research, that we have postulated the theme, the future of marketing is digital logistics, which with the deliberations of our eminent speakers, in this panel discussion, we will find out that whether this digital logistics is the future of marketing. So I would like to open this ceremony with some questions in hand, like, is logistics the new brand differentiator? What's its impact in India? How digital logistics acts as a hybrid facilitator to digitalization, to IT, to supply chain and logistics? How boosting logistics strategies would enable profitability during unpredictable times? So with this question in my mind, I request our panel members to address these questions in their expertise area or their views in their expertise area. So first of all, I would like to welcome Sri Shobha Mojumdar, who is a founder and director in Apollonius. He's an ex-professor of ASBM University now. At that time, it is ASBM B School. Sir, welcome you, sir. Please share your.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, actually, my opinion on the modernization of the logistics and supply chain management, we have already faced a time where, means this pandemic time, we have all came across this time where we have seen a lot of changes in the technology world, and maybe so it was a catastrophic time, but again, this time has already given us some world-class technologies in our hand. So, if logistics have played a very important role, like we have already achieved 100 million plus vaccination across India, so you can understand that the role played by the logistics to achieve this particular goal, right? Even the supply chain management of the critical oxygen management. Recently, we had worked on one program where we actually worked on oxygen management system. You know, the pandemic version 2, when it came in this year during April, May, it created a havoc and there was a shortage of oxygen supply across India. So that time also oxygen supply chain management played a very important role over there. And there's several other things like the supply of medicine, the supply of drugs, and everything played a very important role over here. So logistics is a very important role, and how technology can play a very important role over here. So as you are already in the introduction, you have described about the high-speed internet. You have spoken about the artificial intelligence, the machine learning. Yes, these are the technologies which are backing more resilient, more robust logistics system. But again, we have to understand that artificial intelligence, high-speed internet, and like Industry 4.0. Recently, I was attending a conference from the Amazon India. So they were actually speaking about the supply chain 4.0. So that was the vision. So one of my co-panelists is from Flipkart. So it would be great to learn from him also, like what kind of focus they're giving on, supply chain management 4.0. But I take a different path in this matter. It's like where I believe that every organization, when they go for a disruptive technology changes, they require an entire systematic changes in the organization. So when I speak about the systematic changes in the organization, there I bring the concept of the trustworthy AI. So maybe just after this session, when I would go a little bit in depth about how the trustworthy AI can actually imbibe with logistics and supply chain management, and it can become a more resilient, more deepening phenomenon. So I think I will be discussing that after my other panelists member give their opinion. Yeah. Hello. Hello.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, sir. It is audible. Yes. So I would like to now invite Sri Akash Jaiswal, Managing Director, Team Hi-Tech Private Limited to share his opinion in this introductory of this digital logistics. Sir, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to give me the opportunity to speak. So, uh, as a company, Team Hi-Tech is focused on customized software development, depending upon whatever we are creating with the other partners. With that experience, I would like to share some of the products which we can create to address the problems which we are facing in the current scenario. So I have made a small PPT. I think that will be easy to focus on. Okay. So is my screen available?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So it is the PPT. I'm starting the PPT. Digital logistics, the future of marketing. So here I'm defining the problem statement. How can manufacturers understand their potential customer? And how can consumers verify the source of origin? Because trust is one of the trust and speed. These are the two important factors that will lead in the coming days. So when we are talking about marketing, being specific, feedback marketing is the process of the marketing department allowing customers to give transparent details about their experience with a product or service. What if here we are taking two scenarios? What can happen? What if we as a manufacturer get to know our product acceptability with respect to region and application and user feedback directly? Like the manufacturer gets to understand in which of the demographic areas their products or services are being used. They also get to understand what are the problems the customers are facing directly, or whatever they feel like, the good part as well as the bad part. So if this happens, let's take an example. What is the problem as a problem that a manufacturer can face? For example, we have a manufacturing unit that produces baby oil. In the past, there were some cases of rashes. Like there were people who complained that there were rashes due to the use of that particular oil. At the same time, there were many parents who were happy with the product. Like they gave better ratings, that they were happy that their problem was solved. The researchers of that particular manufacturing unit needs to understand the root cause of the happening. So we have a problem statement, we have an example. Now I'll be sharing what are the possible solutions to address this problem as a manufacturer. One thing is, we have to go to the route where the product is being supplied, getting the details from the retailer via their POS system or inventory management system, that what kind of people are buying it, when do they buy it, because we also whether they in the it in the it depends how it has been in the other accurate, but it's very surveying about the product directly with the note down the details of the product feedback one by one. So if we think about the digital solution, every consumer shall get a feedback QR code embedded with the product. And that will be not unique to a batch in the current scenario, but unique to every product. Consumer can fill up the details. These details should directly reach to the manufacturer. So when we say these, we also have need to work on how we have to motivate people to fill the feedback form, how important it is to meet the requirements of the consumers in large scale. The submitted report might give a conclusion like this is an assumption case. So most of the parents that complained belong to coastal Odisha or coastal side of Andhra Pradesh. One reason might be humidity. So this is about the researcher, what they can conclude about the feedback from the feedback they have received. One reason might be humidity is causing blisters, which is resulting bad experience of the product. there might be a case where we can know that this particular region people are addressing this issue, and people with other side of the country are happy with the product. So we can have a solution that this might be a reason why it is affecting the skin. So there is the next solution. I'm again showing the problem statement where we started with. First one was, how can manufacturers understand their potential customers? Second one is, how can consumers verify the source of origin? These are the two problem statements we wanted to address as digital logistics. So we as a consumer get to know where the product is coming from, whether it is original, who all are involved in the process. So in this case, we are taking an example where Raj Sekhar has subscribed for a monthly plan for milk. He is very conscious about synthetic milk being supplied in the market. And now he wants a solution to verify if the milk provided to him is a pure cow milk or not. So in the current scenario, what are the possible solutions? He can get a lactometer and test it every day. So practically testing everyday milk with lactometer won't be possible. He always have to go to the particular chemist or bring chemicals to test it. Other solution is they can check with the factory whether they are procuring other who are cows, they are already owning the cow. And this application also has a loophole that one if you visit something, there might be cows, but next time when there is a when they are supplying, it might not be there. So for here we have found a unique barcode on every packet would show the origin, that when it was pasteurized, when it was packed, when it was taken from the animal. All these details can be summed up in a QR code, which will be dynamic. So one live example from our state, Odisha, is Daily Moo, which does this. We can track our everyday milk with the time stamps, that when it was there, it's coming from which location of the coming. But even if a company is doing this, then also we need to have a regulated body to understand that, yeah, verified one. A company saying it is coming from a right source is very general. A regulated body with all these facilities would be a better solution to have a generalized answer to all the consumers. So this is it from my side. Thank you. You can ask any of your questions and share any of your feedback.
Okay, thank you, sir, for your introductory remark.
Welcome, sir.
So we'll start with Sobha Mujumdar. Later that our third esteemed panel member will join. He's from Flipkart, and when he joins, he can share. But we'll start panel discussion mode. Sir, in the last disruptions of this COVID-19, as you are pointing out about this supply of these gas cylinders and oxygens. So do this is possible because of digital logistics, or due to some other conventional methods that we are using in India? We have news with Delhi government, Kejriwal. Odisha is also the greatest supplier of oxygens during those times.
Yeah, actually, for this particular project, we actually collaborated because we developed a a website, and we also collaborated with IIT Kanpur. So Professor Shalabh Srivastav, he was basically a professor of data statistics from Kanpur IIT. So they developed a model for the UP government for the supply of oxygen. So I would like to discuss a little bit like what our model was to the digital supply of oxygen, the crisis management system. What he did was that we developed a website and we developed a volunteer system, right? So the volunteer used to actually identify where there is a dire need of oxygen. So why the oxygen was needed? So if any COVID patient was critical, right? So and they were in need of oxygen, you can understand a single oxygen cylinder, at least in Kolkata at that time, was selling as high as 35,000 rupees. So that was the crisis it had occurred. So we actually formed a, along with Kharagpur IIT, from the Department of Industrial Systems Engineering. and other students. There were many students from various engineering colleges. We actually developed a team, and we identified, right, that what is the need of the oxygen. And what we did was that we actually identified what are the sources of, oxygen cylinder. So the sources were basically like they can be the retailer who were actually the selling the oxygen, or two, also the production houses like Allenberg was one of the production houses. So we actually made up a link with them, and also we coordinated with Ramakrishna Mission. Okay, so they were volunteering us for this particular project. So this actually helped us to actually identify, and along with the government own effort, it was actually an effort from our side where we actually digitalized the medium. So people were trying to actually, fill up the form. We had a form created over there. The student was like the people who are in need of the oxygen, they can fill up their ward number, the municipality, their locality, along with, yes, obviously, or the COVID positive patients only would be requiring the oxygen. So COVID positive is required. So that way, and or the nearest, the oxygen supplier, the nearest where the availability of oxygen is there would be connected to them directly. So we used a graph mechanism. So it was a graph. We developed a graph mechanism, and we matched it. So that was one of the very small solution, but it was pretty effective. It was not very critical in nature, but it was a small solution, but it was pretty effective in that way. So I think such solutions, because we understand that, COVID is not yet gone, though we are almost a large number of citizens of India is vaccinated, but we must be prepared for any future pandemic to come. So there is a robust requirement of the logistics system to be digitalized. So digitalized means not only like whatever the technological interventions we are giving, but also we have to understand like how the entire logistics and supply chain management can be modernized. So that modernization from the organizational level to the people who are actually delivering the products. Entire system should be modernized, and for that, at an organizational level, their systems. See, most of the organization like Flipkart, Amazon, eBay, they are all using artificial intelligence and machine learning for their systems. So now, as I told you that I was attending a conference from the Amazon. So Amazon is using like supply chain management 4.0. So it is from based on the IoT and virtual reality and all these technologies are integrating. So they're saying that before you place the order, your order should be on your way. So it is like a single day delivery, the concept they are finding. So anyways, so these are the things they are planning to do, the drone supply chain management, the drone based logistics, everything is fine. But at an organizational level, when we think of something bigger, so what is the trust for the artificial intelligence? That is the main thing. The question is rise over there at an organization where, and this is I say in a very generic sense. Well, I say it, let's say it can be applied to finance, it can be applied to entertainment, supply chain management, logistics. So whenever we are using artificial intelligence, there is a concern about the trust for that particular technology. So as one of my co-panel member, Akash, he was actually referring to the trust. He just his opening slide, he actually pointed out a trust. So trust is very important whenever you are using any kind of modeling, any kind of technology. First and foremost thing which comes in the mind is a trust. So the trust is a very important role, and for artificial intelligence and machine learning, whenever we talk of technology, when you talk about the disruptive technologies, modernizations, we always focus on something like artificial intelligence, machine learning modelings. So what about the model? So any model I can develop. It's not like that. I can also develop. Anyone can develop. But whether that model is actually a trustworthy model or not, that is the concern, right? So there plays a very important role. Maybe logistics and supply chain management. Maybe it's the case. It can be one of the field of application, but we have to understand because, as I told you, like many people during our oxygen management system, people say that what is the trust that we'll get our cylinder delivered, because you can understand we are actually fighting with the people who are almost gasping for breath of oxygen. They are critically ill, and you can understand such kind of scenario. So there becomes very important things like what is the trust of a model, what is the trust of a model which you have developed. So when we started supplying them with the oxygen and people are finding it effective, you know, then people said that okay, fine, this is working. But you know, again, like such kind of models pre-hand should be trustworthy, right? Therefore, people are going to use any technology should be very much trustworthy. So I advocate nowadays a lot of trustworthy AI and trustworthy learning models and operationalization. So every people in this particular pipeline, right? They all should be actually have an engaging outforce. So that will lead to digitalization, a successful digitalization of the logistics and supply chain management. It should not be taken like a capsule, but it should be an end-to-end process. That is what I feel. Yeah.
Great, sir. Thank you. Now, when you talk of, as I'm going through your profile, I'm seeing that you are more expertise in the area of artificial intelligence, actually. So in the today's morning inaugural session, we have a guest members where we have discussed the impact of these digital logistics. There they cited that mostly now the digital logistics is used by large scale industries. And you have also narrated about the industry 4.0 by Amazon conditions. But what about these middle and small scale industries
Yes.
or unconventional industries?
Yes.
Do we really, being in India, can we afford to these kind of technologies? Or if we can, how you can?
Actually, see, there is the cloud technology based concept. So you were talking on the small and medium enterprises, if I'm not wrong. The small supply chain based companies, the small apps where they're using a small company who is actually maybe selling some specific product, right? Or maybe a grocers, big grocers who can be selling. So nowadays you can understand that there is an overwhelming acceptance of the digital technology. Like I was actually referring to trustworthy AI and everything. See, these are all cloud-based technology. These are the technologies which you can use. Amazon AWS, already AWS has developed this platform where you can develop your own model, your own artificial intelligence and machine learning models. You can deploy them on the cloud and you can access them from the cloud, right? And that itself can run on their cloud based platform, and you can access the benefit of that. Similarly, you have like Microsoft, you have Azure, then IBM, you have the Watson. So almost all the the big giant technology infrastructure companies, they have provided. Even the Google also have Google Cloud Platform. So it only requires so you have to develop your own solutions. You have to deploy them on the cloud, host it your own website. Like what we did nothing. We just developed a website. We linked it with the IBM Cloud, the IBM Watson Cloud, and everything was running as it is. So it was just, I think, 3 to 4 days of work we did, and we linked it over there. So and I had some 4 to 5 people along with me who did everything. It was just the concept I was just referring. It's just a concept. You have to have a unique concept. Like what kind of digital logistics? First of all, you have to understand what kind of solution you want to solve. That is a very important problem. So every industry, every company has got its unique problem. Like say for the milk, Akash was referring to the milk. Milk has got its unique problem, even the medicine that has got its unique problem. If I speak about something like FMCG product, that has got a unique problem, right? And even speaking about the big, large logistics systems, right? So that has got its own problem. So every organization basically knows its own problem. Every organization knows his own problem. It's like I know my own problem, Akash knows his own problem. So every organization knows his own problem. So to solve that problem, we need a solution. So accordingly, the supply chain management companies, like who are heavily dependent on the supply chain, they know their own problem. So they have to identify the problem. They have to deploy their own team of some engineers, and they'll be working on the cloud. So it doesn't matter that whether it's like big organization like Amazon. Okay, their scale is very large. Their scale is very large. So they have dedicated everything. So, well, their technology, what they require, they're doing a billions and trillions of dollars of business, right? But if I say, for example, I just take an example, I want a supply chain management company, maybe I am a supply chain management company who is specializing on the Odisha handicrafts, right? So maybe I want to actually deliver the handicrafts of Odisha across the globe, right? So that is a unique problem. So getting the handicraft materials, the saris and etc. from the rural artisans, getting them stocked and delivering it to the across the globe, right? So that requires a different kind of problem. So Amazon will not going to play in this particular domain, but this is a unique problem. I have to know where to procure the procurement channels and everything. So how could I digitalize? So that is a unique problem. So this kind of problems, maybe these are the problems which actually the students, when the MBA students can actually take up. For example, I know Bomkai is one of the saris of Odisha, which is famous globally, right? So how we can actually popularize globally the Bomkai sari, right? Kotki saris. So there are several things. Even, like the Prasad of Jagannath, the Lord Jagannath. Actually, that itself is in high demand. So is there any possibility using the digital logistics, we can actually, give the prasadam of Lord Jagannath to across the India? So how digital logistics can play a role in this? See, marketing is one of the things. Lord Jagannath doesn't need a marketing, so everyone knows about the prasadam. But can we deliver? Because the prasadam of Lord Jagannath is not available even in Kolkata. So is there any possibility? So this kind of projects, even the students of ASBM also can take up this kind of projects, and they can develop this small app-based solution, right? And they can see that how they can integrate. A very simple solution it can be. They have to talk with the mandir committee, and they have to take the permission, and they have to see that how they can do it. And using the app-based solution, they can actually develop. So they have to link the customer. So, and obviously there must be a transporter, logistics systems, like Gati and anyone who will going to deliver it. But this can be a very unique solution for the students to start up their entrepreneurial venture. That delivering the Prasadam of Lord Jagannath to at least in Eastern India, they can start it.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that's what we are also discussing in the case studies in our university. That as you cited, that Jagannath temple is as one of the Char Dhams, and about the food, people are very much fond about this avada. How logistic can help. Though we have the facilities now, but not digitally, it is so much popular. It has its own limitations. But still, as you suggested, that new entrepreneurs can come up and can lead with the technological help and drive. So,
As I said, this will be a very popular solution. This will become a very popular solution. Yeah.
Sri Padmalochan, sir, are you there?
Hi.
Yeah. Okay.
Good afternoon. This is Padmalochan Sahu from Flipkart.
You can give your presentation, or you require more time, sir?
Just 5-10 minutes more.
Okay,
just
then I'll be continuing with
okay.
our other speaker. Then you can join.
5 minutes.
Fine. Okay. My next, I would like to address our Akash Jaiswal, sir. Sir, are you? Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as a young entrepreneur, as you have found in LinkedIn of digital marketing, so can already you have cited that how this digital marketing help us in this, the example that you have cited with milk. But what are the challenges that you will face? Because you are being a young, that too in this kind of turbulent times of COVID, where we are thinking of business, and that too in India, where as you have told that trust, the word trust, in India to get trust, it is so difficult to attain that. So how could you cope up with that?
So, sir, first of all, one challenge is people have to come up with in this digital world. There are people who are educated, but they don't want to come to the digital space because of a lot of barriers in their mind. There might be fraud, they can't be correct. A lot of things are there, and we are also responsible for such environment, because before Amazon started its refund policy, there were no one who were interested to buy it online. They were not at all trusting it. Once I give the money, if it doesn't come, if even if it comes, it is a fake product. How do I realize? So Amazon, I was studying some of the case studies where I found that Amazon India is only the location where Amazon gives COD. Otherwise, everywhere it is prepaid.
Yes.
So since Amazon was facing this issue of trust, they had to come up with cash on delivery option, which also cost them a lot, because the money has to the parcel is delivered by a third party vendor. The delivery boy has to collect the payment. The delivery boy will give it to their vendor. Maybe it would be Shiprocket, sorry, not Shiprocket, Blue Dart, Delivery, whatever. Then they give the money back to Amazon, and this procedure itself takes some amount of the as a commission, like 3%, 4% is charged because of COD. So a big giant like Amazon, which has a brand all over the world, everybody trusts it. When that also came to India, they also have to face the challenge. So this is mainly because a lot of people are there who are educated but are not correct. A lot of people who are educated enough to call and talk in English, and they also ask to put the UPI pin so that they can um, get the money into their account. So they are educated people, but they are doing the wrong thing. So this makes the whole procedure or effort of good people uh, get into a shadow, that they might be someone who is not correct, or they are trying to take away the money. So this is one challenge where we can say ethics. Ethics is one of the things. If the people are very reliable, they don't try to do fraud or things like this. So the trust will generally, we can see the trust emerging out from the public, but that needs a long way. I was studying yesterday only some of the papers. The literacy rate of overall India has increased to 70% now, which is itself a good thing, and people are very optimistic about the digital space being growing exponentially due to this factor, because the literacy is growing. So there are challenges like the feedback system, which I told, like people have to give their feedback whether it is profitable, what are the problem they are facing for a product. If they provide feedback in an honest way, the companies will always try to improve their service or product. But this is one of the major challenge, how someone will get the feedback into the system. No one will scan the scan it from the phone and write that yeah, the product was very nice, but then I was not if I buy a kettle, for example, then he should be very particular that I didn't like this aspect of the product. The switch should be placed here, the switch should not be placed here, because I use it for this particular purpose. So this will come when a particular person is very responsible, that I also have a right to say that how I am using this product, and I want it to be modified so that people who are like me get a solution to this. So ethics and education are two most important things. And the third one is like in the second one, where the consumer is trying to get verified whether the product is right or not. Here also a lot of things has already been in the mind. Since childhood we have heard this, that there is water in the milk. Whenever a milk is received, there is water. Every now and then you see media exposing factories where synthetic milks are being produced using shampoos, chemicals. People are dying. So all these things are going on around us only. The factory might be near 2 kilometers from the place where we are living, and when we are going into the market with a positive view, we get negative feedback because of them. But we have to overcome that feedback with some solution. We can't blame that people are not accepting it. We can't say that people are not valuing our effort. because we want to provide them something good, they should accept it very freely, or they should accept it because they have been exposed to a market which is already trying to snatch money from them. How can we expect that they'll come to us at the very right moment? But with if the company retains, shows them their portfolio, shows them how they are doing, shows them that yeah, they really want to solve the problem, then generally trust will rise. And if a company does good, people who are morally educated will try to compensate by providing by providing good feedback about the company itself.
Great. Thank you. But as the study suggests that digitalization is the need of the hour, I totally agree. We all agree. But it is much costlier. So that's the concern. Because it may be any kind of business. It is initial stages, we think that it is a lighter amount, but when you need for output based, but I think it is more costlier. So how to deal with that?
So, sir, when can I speak?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So whenever we say costlier, cheaper, there has to be a comparative measure. So when you are saying that digital platform is costlier, so I hope you are comparing it with the traditional system of physical thing. So whatever example I have understood, I'm telling you, the brick and clay model of all the shops are more costlier than the digital one, because we have to pay the rent, electricity bill, staff payment. Then there are a lot of compliances we have to pay. But for certain people who are in their hometown, they don't want to go to the big city. They don't want to move. It is their home, and there is a shutter room which is just outside their room. Their room. So if they want to compare that, if I go into a digital market, I have to spend for a website. I have to pay to the payment gateway. I have to pay to the pay every year for the SSL certification, then it is costlier because he's comparing to something which is no value for him. For example, if I am living in a room and I have opened a shutter just outside my room, I am not paying anything about the rent or something. So for me, it might seem costlier, but the general way a business is done is going to the place where the crowd is. So people who are going to the place where crowd is, uh, they have to pay the rent. High amount of rent has to be paid. Logistics is there. Compliances are there. So if we compare in that aspect, digital is cheaper. The next thing is if we talk about ad. Earlier or currently also, there are a lot of hoardings. A lot of hoarding money is invested in railway station roads, mall roads, but there is no analytics how many people are seeing it, whether it's profitable or not. No one can track that. A person came just by showing that hoarding, or they got to know it from a referral, or they got it to know because we send a thela with our gifts. We are not able to justify which mode of advertisement worked. But when we come to digital media, we have to pay per click, and we are sure that they came because we had put a Facebook ad where we had said that we'll be giving you 10% off if you subscribe before Thursday. So we get to know that this person is very concerned. He wants the product to be delivered before Diwali, and that's why he had ordered it before Thursday. So we can segment it properly. So in ads also, if we compare the hoarding newspaper rates per centimeter per inch space, it's very costlier compared to Facebook ads.
So the question now, the next question, connected question is about the acceptance. So what about the technological adoption model or technological acceptance in India? As you told that it is a need for proper education. I guarantee that the next generation means the current students who will emerge, they will think of entrepreneurship in mind and using all technologies. But the conventional, the existing markets who are there, whether they are able to accept the digitalization or technological change in them, whether they would like to invest the money in this logistic sector or digital logistic. So as an entrepreneur, you can share. Uh,
So sir, for me, there are two types of learner. One is who learn by seeing others, and the other is who learn after they are affected. So there were schools who already had this video calling and online class facility before COVID, because they were way ahead of their technology. For example, if everyone is from Odisha, I hope everyone is from Odisha, then I can give some relevant examples. So Sai International School is there. So they were already prepared with all the technologies. They already had their video platform. They already had platform to share their syllabus. They already had the assignment tracking system, whether someone is able to do their assignment or not. If someone is bunking classes, there was a SMS facility for the teachers, for the students and the respective class teachers, that this particular student didn't come up. Uh, was it a permission given by you, or you were not there? So they were way ahead, because they were in that category, the category why I said they were the early learners. They already learned by seeing other schools or international schools which were following it, or the colleges which were following it. But there were other people in the school industry only, who never thought that website will help me. They said, I get the fees in hand, I don't need a payment method integrated into a website, and even I don't need a website, because I'm already listed in Google. Someone needs an admission, they can come directly. But now when there was only online thing, they saw that people who were present in the online media are getting constant source of admission. They are already getting inquiries whether they have this science facility available or not, whether arts stream is available or not, because they were present in the online segment. And people who are not in the online segment, they were facing this challenge. And I'm telling you, sir, in 2018 we had the school management software since 2018, and we already had a model where we used to give demo to schools, go to them, tell them this can do this, and they used to say, we don't have a budget this time, we'll try to, your product is good. They already said the product is very nice, but we don't have a budget, because next year we have to do this, or annual function is coming next year, when the budget comes we'll do this. At that particular moment when the COVID strike, people were calling, almost the same person were calling us 5 to 6 times, and we weren't able to deliver because of high demand. Everyone was saying that, no, I want this, because they were not the fast learners, they were not the early learners. They were, since they were affected and started seeing the result that their business has affected now. So if earlier electricity bill was only submitted at a nearby collecting office and all that, but now it is already available in all the major apps, Flipkart, Amazon Pay, Paytm, everything. So now people are also learning that why to go to a place, get into the crowded place, drive, instead just pay it from mobile. So there are some people who will learn early, but there are some people who will take it to the end. They will learn at the moment when there will be no possible, when all the collecting offices like the Bijli Yojana and everything, the Bijli Ghar will be shut down. They'll stop taking offline payments by saying any of the issues like corona is there or the staff is not there, and then only they will switch. So this will happen in all the industries likewise.
Great, sir. Great. Thank you. Thank you. So, Padmalochan sir, are you ready for your deliberation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure.
So, may I now invite Sri Padmalochan Sahu, who is a manager in supply chain operations from Flipkart. Sir, please share your deliberation.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Sunil sir, for giving me opportunity, and thanks for panel. You have given the enlightenment to this panel. So much of discussion in supply chain, logistics, automation, digitization. So I would like to give some thoughts, some of my thoughts, and some of this e-commerce, what is going on right now, and how the traditional supply chain is differ from traditional. We have jumped into modernized into supply chain. Modernized means digitization. Whenever there is a digitization, there is a term called artificial intelligence. Okay, everybody is aware that everybody is working in artificial intelligence. So still, India is far behind of this kind of Sir has told that Amazon has is doing this kind of robotic drone based supply and all. So due to infrastructure and this thing, India is growing, but in next 2 3 4 years it will be there, and people are launching other because of this COVID era and COVID things is going on. So people are more into working in digitization. Cost is one factor is there, but still, if suppose there will be no option, then what we will do? Last 10 years, Flipkart has grown. Flipkart, Amazon, every online business has grown a significant way, and everybody is working on automation. Then Kaizen is there. Then Six Sigma. Everything is coming up. So I'll just show some of the pictures and some of the I'll just try to give some of thoughts to support this thing, how it is happening. So I'll just share my slide. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yes. Automation or AI in supply chain management. How automation can change in supply chain, bring goodness into your operation, make your workplace much better. Before that, we need to understand what is traditional supply chain, okay, and how it is, how there will be new age supply chain, what is the difference, and when there is a entry of technology or digitization, then traditional supply chain is converted into a new age supply chain. So there are lots of concepts are there are lots of technicality are there, but I'll go to I'll not go to much deeper. I'll just show, and I'll just give idea so that you can get some kind of idea how what is going on in our industry. Okay, so I'll go into traditional supply chain. What happens? Inbound management is there, inventory management is there, outbound and transportation. These are the four basic things which consist of traditional supply chain. Then inbound process vehicle comes at the dock, gets unloaded, physical check, POD handover, metal and store. There's and delivery to the people. Okay, but when so I'll just give you some some facts. What happens? Vehicle comes at a dock, unloading happens, physical check. Then inventory management, what we do? But whenever we get unloaded, we store somewhere. That is called inventory. Then there are some concept to keep our inventory okay. We do audits. This is normal thing. Okay. Outbound execution. We whenever any order comes, we pick from the location, send it to the desk to the packing invoice, and send dispatch to the section. Okay. Transport after this thing transportation management comes. We do route mapping, arranging vehicles, loading, unloading, sending devices, POD collection. This is a normal traditional supply chain. When automation and digitization comes, then there will be addition of few things. Pre-receiving is there, and receiving put away. Inbound has divided into micro level. Okay, inventory management has also like it has also divided into small steps. Then outbound and dispatch area, that is also divided into small steps. I'll just show you some pictures. So pre-processing, there will be before receiving there will be appointment. We do appointment scheduling. Okay, from digitization and from this we get a schedule. Okay, then vehicle reports and advance, then sanity check, inbound trip creation, that everything has been done in digitization kind of a thing. So system is included much into that to make it more specific. Then this is the flow process. Then receiving, manual, traditional receiving will be kind of manual doc, you do physical counting, but receiving through telescopic conveyor. Okay, you can see the picture how it is done. New age, what is the difference? Now this thing is has included conveyors are there, and telescopic has included, and it is more into kind of testing phase, and next 1-2 years it will be come into life. Then this is a flow process. I will not go to much some other time. This is the screen. When you see the screen, you can get into dock number, trip number, post date. You can get into this is your first screen. These are the new everything is into scan, capture. This thing will happen, barcode. This thing has been included so that to make it more automatic. Then you can see everywhere there is a inclusion of digitization. Print machine, you can see this is the print machine, and we are giving that this is the main thing. The message, whatever the coding was going on, every details is there in that screen machine, and the paste here is all the EN codes are there, which in during entry we have pasted it, and till exit it will help to get it kind of digitized, and there will be less manual hand process, so that it will be easy. So initially we are giving into stickers, and that will be also machinery. No manual intervention will be there. Okay, then putting, after coming to inventory, we need to put away that products to specific our locations. That is also done by voice, put by voice. I'll show in the pictures in the later. Put by light, these things are have been included. Okay, so then putting design principles, there are putting design principles normal. I have also worked in some my 10 years career, ITC and LG. So I have seen gradually growing up kind of classifications of product inventory. So initially what we are doing manually, we are just getting into unloaded the products, materials, then we inventorize according to our classification eye level. But that has been mechanized due to this in digitization, that has been also coded, and that AI has come into picture, and it has also automated. You can see putting by voice and putting by light, this device has been included. Okay, or putters, they go they have manually search for the product and see the location, and it has to be put away. Now this kind of machines and this kind of ring scanners has been there. This is very convenient, and this is attached to your mobile, and speakers are there when you can voice command whenever it is required, and for that easier to know accuracy. Okay, putting by voice, wearing instruction, you can give instruction, and that will be automatically put away will be done. Put away device checkpoints, there are that will be Wi-Fi connected, handset will be there, thing will be you will be sitting and previously what we are doing, that audit was manual, and we have to there are a very people are using slates, chalks for marking and all. So that has converted into this level. You can say I have worked in all the I have seen the transition from manual work to digitization. So I could understand what was the difficulty were going on. We have to spend entire night or coming 4 5 days or 6 days for some audits and to check the physical materials physically. Right now this digitization has helped people for, and it is getting more convenient. Digital screening, you can see that pictures. Yes, put away. These are some technical things. Then inventory management. Inventory management also that was doing previously manually, and we used to take that sheets and search products from here to there, but that has systematically right now mapped into system, and it has given uh, great accuracy, so that because there is a inclusion of speed. Okay, right now people are not going to market and ordering, and they're not giving time also, because they are spending money, means they need the product immediate basis, either 1 day 2 days. Right now you can see Groupers and Swiggy, they have giving the orders within half an hour. How they are doing this thing? This is because of digitization only. WMS, what is WMS? WMS means warehouse management system. It's like Excel sheet. When you say A1, then you know what point is there. B5 in Excel B location, and you go directly there over there. But same thing when into a warehouse. Suppose this is a 1 lakh square feet warehouse or 2 lakh square feet warehouse. Right now 10 lakh square feet warehouse is coming up. So that in that area WMS is digitization plays important role. Okay, you need to know what is the direct location to make the less footfalls for your employees, for your laborers, for your manual workers, so that they go directly to that point and pick that product what is the order. So previously what was happening, no such mechanism was there. People are keeping the product as per their convenient. Later during searching the product it was taking time, but WMS put away WMS has improved a lot. Right now everything is mapped into your system. SAP based mapping is there. Every location is mapped. You can monitor everywhere where is the product, and also there is a CCTV. Everything CCTV coverage of every product is there. So inventory accuracy has increased. You can see how this large difference between IM inventory management and WM warehouse management system. Warehouse control system. Then intermediate storage type. These are some storage type. It has mapped into SAP or whatever WMS system. The product which are not suppose we boxes are damaged, somewhere in products are there, somewhere in mismatch happened. So that is the kind of intermediate stage of inventory. We need to check it out, and you need to liquidate, because this is inventory means your money. So that should be kept in a that should be liquidated as soon as possible. But when that previously what was happening, the damage with and when the damage was there, that was not taken care into consideration, and huge losses were going on. So right now there is because of this thing we can monitor every category to into one particular number. So whenever you get to that number, every day basis you can check. Previously I was in ITC somewhere before 4 5 years, or sorry, before 10 years, there was sometimes kind of 5% inventory damage was there, or some bad inventory. 0.001%, 0.01%. So that's significant, the significant saving we are doing because of this digitization and mapping. So inventory management, master data maintenance, how we are doing, designing principles. Okay, I'll not go into much details into that. I'll go to outbound so that you can get how the metal comes into customer hand, and what was the previous approach, and right now what is the current approach. Okay, this is the outbound operation. Okay, previously what was there, as sir has already told, previously suppose something damage happened, it has to suppose Flipkart or Amazon, what they were doing, suppose any damage happened, that will go to third party, third party will receive, third party will pay the payment, and that will claim to this thing, principal company. But right now what because of this AI based this thing, vendor we have a fulfillment center, we need to information pass, we do information pass, and from vendor which is directly connected into vendor as per our inventory, vendor management inventory, vendor is aware how much inventory we require, the order is simultaneously coming. Whenever there is nothing required, then even if directly from vendor to warehouse, there is we can skip some intermediaries like grocery store and all, so it can go to directly customer also whenever there is a need. Okay, and reverse is also very easy right now, people are working on that. As I discussed already, SAP and we are, AI is going on. So we are getting cutting edge advantages into, warehouse management system. These are some picking methodologies, device and infrastructure, which are some companies are using, and some we are yet to use, and some areas they are using. Like suppose manual, there is a order, people used to do manual picking and send it to the this thing outbound, so that it can get delivered, packed and delivered. Right now because of this ring scanning, and this is the automatic infrastructure is there, but this is again very costly. But it will be later because of there is a matrix of speed and accuracy. Then this thing will come into picture, because not only Flipkart, Amazon is there, there are big players are there. Right now Reliance is coming up with JioMart, other big companies are there, that like Tatas are investing into digital this thing, online e-commerce and all. So we need to deliver it lightning fast. Okay, so these are the some infrastructure they are upgrading. When they are doing new infrastructure, suppose Flipkart has a dream project coming up in Haringata. So it's like 10 lakh square feet a infrastructure is going is there. See, there is a conveyor of 4 to 5 kilometer conveyor are there. So 4-5 kilometers conveyors are there. So these are the cutting edge things. Showing also Amazon is working, also JioMart is working. So right now this is a digital age, and traditional. Hello.
Yes, sir. You're audible.
Sorry, there was a bad network. So right now everyone is working into digital thing. So for Flipkart, Amazon, these are the leading big players because they have huge uh, cost. They have huge budget. Okay, budget because of these orders are also used. Previously, you can see there was a loss making company. Flipkart was a loss making company. Amazon was making loss in into e-commerce business. But right now there is a lot of collaboration, and this thing collaborative approach is there. Everybody is going for online delivery. Right now nobody is going to market. People are going offline. Market is there, but online market has also grown a significant into a significant level. People are right now everybody is entering into grocery. Flipkart also is into grocery. They are coming into 1 day delivery, half an hour delivery. That kind of things is coming up because grocery, there is a huge chunk of market in India. Okay, people need every day. You need eggs, butter, milk, this kind of product, perishable product. You need everyday basis. So people are working on to that, so that if you will not invest into that, then you will be lagging behind. So these are the some pictures I had shared. Is it visible? Sorry. Hello, is it visible?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. So order delivery journey from FC means fulfillment center. FC, I work in a where we have a work. We have to manage that manage that inventory. Okay. Suppose we have vendors. All we have storage capacity into that FCs. What we have to do, we have to take receiving metal receiving. We have to do put away. Around 40-50 lakhs inventories are there. Quantity is there. There is a racking system. Okay, whenever order comes, we get because of digitization, we get that order into our hand. Okay, and time to time there is a cutoff system. We need to follow that cutoff, and we need to clear. Suppose 10 a.m. there is a cutoff. We have to process 20,000 orders. So we need to apply that much of manpower to for that cutoff, because customer order is more important than everything. Okay, then that cutoff, in between that cutoff, we have to clear all the orders. We have to pack that orders within that within that cutoff, and we have to send it to the MH. What MH means? Mother hub. Mother hub will be nearby fulfillment center, and this is the structure of e-commerce in general. Mother hub, what we do in mother hub, we do that coding. Means last mile delivery happens from the mother hub. We keep the pin codes and send to delivery hubs, then customer homes. Okay, so these are that was the traditional system. Right now this is a machine. Okay, this is a tote distributor. Right now people are our company is also thinking about this machine. This machine itself costs around 4 to 5 crores. So what it does, it will do according to suppose material comes, according to order.
Hello, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So picker allocation previously, suppose orders are there, we need to the pickers, and pickers will go and that ring scanner, it will do the scan, and there will no rush of scanning machine network issues, that will be minimized. A light based voice based system is coming up, picking by light, picking by voice, picking by HU level. Okay, you can see that some pictures are there when people are doing that picking by that ring scanners. Headphone are there, they just order this thing, like you call Alexa, that kind of thing has been included into this. So there will be more accuracy, and you can get, because of you have a capacity of 1 lakh processing order in manual, with deployment of 2000 people. Then due to after this implementation, it will increase your capacity and your accuracy more. There will be a less different product go to the customer place, because there is a multiple check, and people has to do less manual work. Some pictures are there. Type of class 1 and class 2 inventory. Class 1, class 2 inventory means according to inventory, we have divided into 3 categories: A, B, C. Everyone knows, people must be knowing. According to value, and there are 80-20 rules, when 80% cost comes by 20% inventory. So we need to get that products into a category. So A, B, C category, every inventory, there is this categories is there. So you can see how they are doing. Pick to light, picking type, odd shape items, how they are picking. This ID code can be scanned by the picker, and this is the light system. Okay, the bin light will glow each order scanning ID. Whenever it completed, it will automatically show 0. Okay, because you have assigned something, and that order will come to that bin. Whenever that bin is attached to your lightning system, whenever there will be order there is if any order pending, then that will be pending. Then when it ends up, then it will give some signal, so that it will be easy for wrong this thing. People will find easy way to get this order executed. Okay, in FC level you can see display. Then when order goes to end, that this comes end, because that assigned task to that bin has completed. Okay, so my aim was to give some glimpse of what is happening right now in industry, and where people are going, and what is the traditional supply chain. How traditional supply chain, in the sense what we know, we gave it a supply chain name, but before it was giving a supply chain name, and from our ancestor also, the supply chain was going on, but we have given it to reduce time, speed, accuracy, and loss. So digitization has a long way to go. Other countries, they have already accepted, and we are also into this process. So this is because I have seen when I joined 10 years back, I had done everything manually. Means like I was a batch of 10 12 in ASBM. Whenever we read logistics and supply
Great, sir.
life kind of a thing, so we saw everything was manually, and later I have seen that changes and paradigm shift. I have implemented a few areas. WMS was new. People are, what is WMS? Interview question was coming. Do you, right now WMS has come so much forward, so that people are right now thinking of delivery of within half an hour grocery product. So that has that last 10 years it has grown such significant level, and in coming days we have a lot of scope, and logistics supply chain is a welcoming sector. This is a tireless sector when the some solutions. So e-commerce, logistics, and this digitization, artificial intelligence, right now correlated itself into next level.
Sir,
So yes,
Padmalochan, sir.
please. Yeah,
Excuse me, sir. Padmalochan, sir. Can you hear me?
yeah, yes,
Sir,
yes, please.
one query is that as the internet users have increased in India from there, each and
Okay.
as you said that the big companies like Flipkart, Amazon are more into these digital markets, and consumers now also, because of this COVID and post-COVID, people are morely relying on digital marketing. So the question I have already asked, but again I'm asking to you: can it be affordable by small companies? The technology that you
Actually, what right now I'll be, same thing has been already discussed. Small companies, they were right now people are developing apps, okay, for small entrepreneurs. Because I also have I have a small venture also, but because of I come into I'm working future in future I'll be working into that. But that same thing I have faced as a kind of investment and all. So small players right now what they are doing, they are coming up with ideas, okay. When you have an idea, then there are big peoples which are going to help right now. Government of India is also helping, and other companies like, you can say, Paytm. It was a small venture, but has backed by foreign. Flipkart, it was also less getting lost, but it has merger, acquisition, everything has happened. And right now 1 lakh crore that Walmart deal has done, okay. So right now Flipkart is strengthening its wings. Amazon has all over the world, but there are small players. Because suppose I'll be saying about Myntra. You told regarding small players, okay. Myntra was a small player. Jabong was a small player, okay, at that time. But Flipkart is made it own. So they have get taken this companies. And right now Myntra, Flipkart is the same company. I work for Myntra also, okay. So this is, if you have an idea and you have cutting edge and you have competitive in market, you are competitive in market, then people will help you and you will get the boost. But you should have get spark into your product or service.
okay, because in the initial stages, as per the market study, we know that Flipkart is in India, Flipkart India is in loss. Amazon India is in only in the last 3 years they have emerged as the most profitable in India, in Indian market especially. Because initial stages in India, it may be Jio, it may be any company, they have to bear the investment because they need to have the trust. Then only they flourish. But can we sum up that it may be micro, it may be macro, or it may be any sector. but they have to come digital logistics or digital marketing or digital technology should evolve for the future of this to exist in the business. Should we,
Yeah,
do you agree
yeah,
with this, sir?
yeah. Digital, loss-making companies were there. Okay, in past years it was kind of doing losses, but it has a great idea. Okay, there are investors. There are two, three types of investors. I'm just forgetting the name. They are giving boost. Suppose you will see in Big Basket or some in Flipkart, it was there is investment of other companies. Okay, they are investing. So right. So what? So can you just repeat once again what you are saying? You are
Thus the
saying about.
future is digital logistics for all.
Yeah. See, previously people were there, were not trusting online market. Even I was not trusting. Okay, so whenever you can see product that can be fake, but there is also in Flipkart that COD, that concept, cash on delivery, has been introduced by Flipkart only. That was the audacity. We have a culture of audacity. You have an idea, you give it, and we will take the risk. Whenever there is a giving something customer value, you are giving some customer, giving a customer value, then that will be, so initially that will make loss, but then it will come into picture, and everybody is right now doing, even small companies right now doing COD, okay, cash on delivery. So that is one thing. And there is a lot of merger acquisition happened. Okay, like when Jio came, there are so many telecom companies, small companies has merged, and they have done to strengthen their this thing, because similar kind of a thing, if you have some spark, some X factor, some product identification, sorry, differentiation in market, then there is a way. Okay, and other players there, suppose for example, we'll take example of kind of KFC. Okay, KFC, there is specialized into this thing, food. Now that's the food, whatever fast food chain. Okay, but they are not into home deliveries. Right now they have merger with Swiggy, Zomato. Sorry, Swiggy or Zomato, somebody is there, or Food Panda. They are doing their business. So there is a lot of merger acquisition there, and also real time this thing, your information is coming up. You can exactly say what is the inventory, what is the forecasting is getting, forecasting is always kind of hard task thing, because there is a never forecast of 40-50%, for 50% accuracy is also very good forecasting. But right now people are getting that forecast. People are storing inventory because they know there is a sales, there is a covid, this thing is coming up. So people are there who are not previously getting into trusting factor that was coming up. Right now they are compulsory. Okay, previously online marketing, online, I never used that Phone Pay and Google Pay, but when some pan shops demands you give me Paytm, then you have to you have to get updated. So digital, this thing is getting updated, and you initially there Notebandi, after the demonetization, you can see small pan shops they have started, but there is a glitch. But right now you can see everybody is doing digital money. So yes, there is a scope and there is a hope, and logistics and supply chain is getting bigger and bigger day by day in India, and it has more audacity, and e-commerce has a bright future right now.
Thank you, sir.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, sir, in the
Sure,
recent past, we have seen deliveries where, this question is related to warehouse management system and its future aspects. So, in the recent
Yeah.
past, there were cases where a different thing was delivered instead of the required one. Like it was circulated in the media. I don't know the authenticity of that news, but instead of iPhone, there was soap delivered to some customer. It might be a lot. There might be a lot of issues because only one person is not doing it, it is going from a hand to hand till the customer. So to regulate this, what is being done in the warehouse management system, or is there any system already available to so that whenever it is getting packed, there is a CCTV footage of that particular ID, order ID, that yeah, it was packed particularly.
Yes, I'll not disclose many things, but I'll just give you some instance. Okay, one picker was there. He has to send a mobile. Okay, this thing also happened. You know, sometimes it has happened from our people who are not well trained, or who are not who has that mentality of kind of stealing. People are there. Thousands people are working in a shift. Okay, who has what intention we don't know. Okay, one instance happened. I'll tell you. One picker was there. So what he does, he was giving picker means he has to pick the product what has been ordered. Okay, and has to deliver. It has to be going to outbound. Outbound has used to has check the product, and he will do that scanning, paste the sticker, and he has to go to the this thing outside. We found some mismatches happened. Mobile mismatch, something happened. So we have checked each IDs. We have each location CCTV. So that is the thing which I was saying, that people are investing much more into that. Okay, so we have found. I'll just give you that instance, that picker and that thing, that person who was outbound, they were interrelated. Okay, the product has picked, and the outbound who has delivered, he was also aware there is a mobile instead of soap, and it has gone to the he has passed, because he has to do the pass, quality pass. Okay, so it has passed, and the sticker, though, because the order was given by some of its colleagues, or some of its relatives. People do this thing by to their relatives. So we found that nearby, that pin code was nearby into that we investigated. We found that people are some CCTV footage, some data check. We found this thing, and they have accepted, and they have terminated. This thing is happening. So I cannot comment onto that, but this in between something. Suppose there is a third party involved into delivery. So third party people, whoever is delivering, he might be doing some tampering. Okay.
Yeah.
So this thing is going on, but people are right now, system is coming up. I have shown this thing where there is a loss, less, 100% kind of 99 or 100%, there is a kind of accuracy. When there is accuracy, then you cannot question. Right now, previously, Flipkart was giving it back. Whatever the claim has come, he was used to, they have taken the risk, and they were returning the money or something like that. Right now, you have to, if this thing happen, you have to give evidence and proof. Some people are there, they are directly sending into Facebook or this thing. If you investigate, then things might be something else.
Correct.
Okay, that thing, the accuracy has increased. Last 5 years, this accuracy has increased, because we are also tracking in MH people. They are also tracking how many people are receiving some. Suppose there is a tendency, there are 10 orders to that particular customer, and 10 out of 10 he is sending back 9 or 8 or 6. So that frequency, you can find out that customer it might be cheated. That also we have found. So I'll just say this digitization has helped a lot in accuracy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Every BBD, big billion sales, you will see big billion sales is just now we have finished. Big billions days are the entire year that
Sir, kindly
one
can you
6, 7, 8 days. Sorry.
Sir, kindly can you stop sharing so that. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So it's a great presentation, sir. You have shown the whole journey of Flipkart, and hope we will invite you again in such endeavors where we will get more time to present all with the students and sharing.
Because of
And many participants are asking
actually,
for the slides actually. Please, if with your permission, if it is okay, you can share the slides so that I can distribute the students.
this is internal success. I would say that recording also should not be there because
Yeah.
just to understand the people like.
Yes, few of it, if possible, just for a means not mentioning Flipkart, but some components. Okay, so it is time
I'll
for
just
me to sum up. We'll stick to time. Already I have asked many questions to our eminent panel members. So we sum up that modern supply chain companies are adapting digital logistics to improve distribution methods, including warehouse management, technology, and fulfillment data. They also recognize the opportunity to automate transportation process and carrier operations, as well as labor management, employer engagement strategies. Many digital logistic platforms incorporate an element of machine learning to help make critical data-informed decisions and continually drive improvement to the supply chain process. With transparent real-time visibility of order fulfillment, inventory status, and shipment updates, digital logistics can be considered as the fastest way for your team and for the organizations in the future to partner to provide a better customer service. So this is all about the assumption. Over to you, Vipul.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, honorable panel members, for imparting valuable knowledge and information. With this, the inaugural ceremony has now come to an end. I request Professor Pratap Kumar Pati, the co-convener of the symposium, to propose the vote of thanks. Please, sir. Pratap, sir.
Professor Pati, you are not audible.
Thank you, Vipul. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on 11th National Logistics and Supply Chain Management Symposium of Mark Logistics 2021. I, on behalf of ASBM University, extend heartily thanks to the panel members, Sri Shobha Mujumdar, founder and director of Apollonius, Sri Akash Jaiswal, Managing Director, Team High-Tech Private Limited, Sri Padma Lochan Sahu, Manager Supply Chain Operations, Flipkart. And I express my heartily thanks to Dr. Sunil Kumar Dasbendi for efficiently initiating the discussion and paving the way for efficiently conduct of the session. Today we have with us 4 eminent speakers in the inaugural session. Sri Anshuman Kumar Bhanja, former Director Operations, Baleswar Alloys Limited. Sri Nilabja De, Head IT, Enterprise and Digital Transformation, Mahindra Logistics. Sri M. Nageshwar Rao, Head of Logistics, Lakshmi Cargo Company. Then we have Sri V.S. Manimaran, Chairman and Managing Director, Viscan Aviation Private Limited. I heartily express my thanks to all these panel members and guests in the inaugural session. I place my sincere thanks to Dr. Biswajit Patnaik, founder and president of ASBM University, for his able guidance in conducting this symposium. I extend my thanks to our respected Vice Chancellor, ASBM University, Dr. Kalyan Shankar Rai, for being a constant source of inspiration for all of us. I would also like to thank our respected Pro Vice Chancellor, Dr. Falgu Niranjana, for our support and guidance in making this program a great success. I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the delegates for their active participation in this symposium. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the faculty members, administrative and support staffs for their active participation and support in this symposium. Before I end, my special thanks to all my loving students and all student volunteers for their tireless effort in making this function a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.